and welcome back to another cup of tea and rune weaving with Großmutter Anja Teich. So today is the last episode of, yeah, my little rune stories and rune weaving stories. So today I would like to talk about the trails and arrows I made on my rune journey and to help you understand maybe a little bit more what you need to look out for. Hi, Natalie. But first we begin, as always, with the cup of tea. Well, I can't. Oh, no, I'm going to pour it out. I can't do that. Oh, you're drinking coffee to stay awake. Oh my God, now I feel bad. Well, I have a nice cup of St. John's wort tea tonight because that goes beautifully with this episode. I had it cool down a little bit, so cheers. Yum, yum. Um, yeah, I would like to show it to you. Got a slight red color because I used the fresh leaves. I showed you in one of my episode my fresh St. John's wort that I grew. So yeah, we all know St. John's wort, right? It's for depressions, for calming down. So, but it got really so much more. Like, it's not only for depressions. Prost, yeah. um, it's for head to toe. It's for migraines, for inflammations. Back when I had my ankle broken, when was that? 2017, I believe. I made a salve for myself, and together with comfrey, I also put St. John's wort in there. So it's really a beautiful herb. Um, I can't tell too much because I'm not a doctor, you know what I'm saying here. So, hi, Josie. So, yeah, I apologize if I don't greet anyone right away because I'm on my phone and sometimes it disappears here. You've maybe noticed that when you've done streams. Um, yeah. So for me, St. John's Wort is really filled with sun, and I just got a text message because I didn't mute my phone. So yeah, it's filled with the sun, obviously, right? And therefore with warmth and with joy, and it just helps away to chase away the darkness. So, and if you feel really heavy on your soul, it really helps you with it, even if you use it as an incense. For example, I like to smudge with herbs and resins as well, as you know. And God, I'm red. Sorry, I'm just seeing that I'm so red. And I'm super tired today too. But I'm here and I showed up. That's all that matters. So I'm tired, I'm cranky, my body aches because I've been helping friends on the acreage the past week. So yeah, but I wouldn't miss that at all. So yeah, so just I apologize if I don't give it all. Yeah, where was I? So it's if the darkness really weighs heavy on your soul, right? That's what I mean. It will help you with this warmth, with the sunlight that's caught in it, and it also helps you with grief, and yeah, and to process it. It's a really lovely, important herb. One of my favorite ones, and shouldn't be missed anywhere. Preferably, of course, if you can harvest it yourself or if you get the fresh herb. Um, so um, I'm doing my work with runes, or when I started my journey, and they finally said, "Okay, woman, that's it. You're working with us." or when I gave in and found more and more the connection to my heritage, um, yeah, I started reading about the runes, right? And I bought little booklets with the notes and everything else. And um, I gotta mute my phone now. Sorry, 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 guys. I'm muting it now. So, yeah. Um, See, now I'm distracted. Squirrel. Um, I've followed protocol, total protocol, as with any other energy work. And but I couldn't get the connection. Yet they were yelling at me, listen, woman, you're not getting the message here. It's not in the book. It's not all about the books. You got to find it for yourself. And I'm like, yeah, bloody blah, right? Um, but the reason that I couldn't get the connection as they wanted me to was because of me. It's not that they didn't want to, it was because of me, of all of my blockages I had. And I don't have a better word to explain it. Um, thank you, Natalie. Um, hey, there you are. I didn't mute my phone. Um, so I I learned over the course of years that I couldn't open up to anything that was involved with any energy work, right? If you want to call it magic, if you want to call it energy work, however you like to call it, right? Um, it was just I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't believe in myself due to the past we most all have, unfortunately, right? So, what involved me was a lot of shame, guilt, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of it, and that can't be, even though I experienced, like I explained in one of my episodes, that I had a gift, still didn't feel worthy of it, right? So, um, and many runes came to me, like telling me that, but I just couldn't see it. I didn't want to see it. It was just like, no, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. Why would I? Why me? Why me? Of all the millions of people, why me? So, yeah. And then I started seeing many other patterns in my life. Even is it raising my daughter, where I was like, oh my God, I act like my mother. And that was the final bam for me. I didn't want to raise my daughter like my mother raised me. I just didn't. I know she did the best she could. I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone here. It's just, it caused a lot in me. And that's when my journey began, to understand that I need to get rid of whatever is stopping me from it. And so none of my work with the runes worked before, or I started experimenting, and they don't like to be experimented with. So that backfired on me many times, as any other um, magical work or energy work. It just backfired. It's not just to experiment. They're not something to experiment. You can learn with them together, but you cannot use them to experiment, and certainly not do harm. Not that I wanted to do harm on anyone. I don't do that shit. But yeah, it was part of my journey where I got sick due to energy work, right? Um, so when I went back to my childhood, okay, where did it all start? And then after a few years, I heard about the inner child, and I'm like, okay, what's that now, right? So, and for me, it's just like as everyone else, that we, yeah, not only need to heal that part that was hurt in the past. I mean, it doesn't have to be the little child. You might have had the best um, childhood ever, and then something down the road in your teen life or in your grown up life happened that traumatized you, right? It doesn't always have to be the child. I just use that because this is our joy, our happiness, our freedom. We were free as children. No matter how much we got kicked, no matter how many times we got abused, you know, that that freeness couldn't be taken away, if I make any sense. And so also with um yeah, so you want to take care of that first, because before you can create the future, right? I mean, I'm not saying keep digging in the past. It won't help you build the future. The present builds the future for you. So, but sometimes we have to walk back. And it's not only how can I say, to go where we got hurt? Is it as a child? Is it as a grown up or a teenager or whatever happened, right? It's all different for each person. Um, it's now I lost my thread. That's great. I'm gonna have another cup of tea here. Cheers or skull. So it's also to go back when we're down now. It's also important to go back. What did I like to do as a child? What did I really enjoy? What give me this freeness, or like my friend Sue calls it, aliveness, right? What moment gave me that? So, and sometimes you go back there and you're like, oh yeah, that was really nice. Oh, I like that feeling. Let's go back there and do it again. Climb a tree. Just don't break anything. I mean, please don't start climbing trees. I don't want to get sued. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like with my granddaughter, when she's here in fall, we were jumping into a leaf pile. It was so much fun, stuff like that, right? Be a child again. Enjoy it. And and yeah, it's take away that fear if there's any fear. Because you're now, you're here. You're not in the past, you're here. You know what I mean? So there is no, you don't need to protect that part anymore because you made it through it, you're here. And and now you're going to say, okay, what does that have to do with the tea in China? You know, what does that have to do with runes? They didn't do any child work. No, they didn't, because they didn't need to. First of all, they had a community, they had protection, they were busy all day, right? They were busy. They were busy taking care of their harvest. They were busy taking care of the families to protect theirs. Um, they were always in movement. Their body was in movement. So, and there for them, it was just more like, I would say, like listening to the inner voice. They didn't have that blockage. Yes, they probably experienced bad things too, but they dealt with it different, right? Children were taught right away what's coming, but in a protective way. Yes, they had their rituals and all. We don't want to get into that now, but it was different. It was different. They were in connection with the land, with nature. They depended on nature. They depended on their ancestors. They depended on their spirit guides. Um, that's how they kept going, right? So they didn't need that inner child work. Do I make sense to you guys? So, and sometimes, yeah, I've learned for myself not only to dig and keep digging and digging and digging. Oh God, that was a bad moment. That was a bad moment. No, I don't. I go back. What made me happy? I want to take that happiness back. I want that with me again. I want to feel that again. And so and same I with trauma work or whatever, it's sorry, like I said, I'm tired and I'm cranky today, so I'm losing my thread again. um yeah, just take that one back. And I'm not talking of the bringing back soul fragments. That is what I offer in my services, that I help discovering the parts that were hurt, or sometimes we lose the soul fragments due to these traumas, which would take too long for me to explain. But if anyone is interested, they can always reach out. I also offer my services and support for this work. Um, but just to put this out there, I am not the person that will go coochie coochie coochie. I will go, if there's something deep and dirty, I will go and get it out, and you have to deal with it. So that's how I do it, in a nice way. So I support, I help with this, right? And this is something that I learned too over the course of years, like experimented on myself, so to say, or I grew with it, right? And everything that I survived, so to speak, I can use now to help others. So nothing was, yeah, it didn't crush me. It made me stronger, and it made me now being able to help other people with this. So, and yeah, like I said, back then, the people, they had other things, and they didn't have trauma stuck in their body like we do today, right? But like I said, they moved. They were constantly doing something. They were out on the fields. They were trying to get in the harvest. They were taking care of the cows. They were taking care of their children, teaching them to fight. They were fighting. They were constantly in movement, right? So yeah, much more personal connection. Yes, that's true. And they had their clans. That it was a community. You were protected. When you were born with the water and with the water ceremony. You know, sounds familiar? Water ceremony, baptizing. So, but this was like, you were really welcome. Today, it's just a Vatican ritual, in my opinion, but we leave this. That just slipped out. I didn't say that. So, but yeah, everything was handled so much different. And today, we don't move that much. We don't need to take care of our food. We go in a grocery store. And it's so freaking expensive by now that you have to work your ass off. So, and then your body is in pain, and then you're tired, and then you're depressed because you just spent $100 for 5 pieces of whatever in your grocery bag. So we just don't have the connection anymore to the land, to the people, to the communities. To today is everything me, 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 and I mean, not everyone. I'm just going into the broader picture here. Um, it's, if someone gives you something, they expect something back. It's not, it's different, so much different. And that's why we end up having so much shit in our body stored. And this is what St. John's Wort helps you too with, right? And of course, any other exercises that you can do. Um, I mean, you'll figure it out yourself. Your back carries, you know, your liver carries anger, your kidneys emotion. So you need to find this connection to yourself. And spiritual is nothing more than a connection to yourself, right? And of course to your ancestors and guides. They help, they support. But at the end, for me, spirituality is nothing but a higher connection to yourself, to your own spirit, to your own soul. That's what it is for me. So, and yeah, try, if you feel you're stuck right now. I'm very stuck. I don't find work. I want to help people. I have my foundation, and it's going slowly. It's going, but it's going. So um, then I was looking, oh, am I blocking myself, blocking myself? But no, it's not me. That's not me. That's just how the world is right now. Everything is different. Many people are not interested in a Rune webinar online anymore, or coming in person, or because they're too busy with other stuff online, or whatever. It's just different. No one is interested really in these things. Very few, and I know my few, and I thank you for all for being here tonight. So, and yeah, and together with this set, if anyone would need help, you can always reach out to me, right? You know that. So yeah, lately it was a little crazy. Like I said, I helped. Um, oh, thank you, Natalie. So, oh yeah, I updated a lot. I did a lot of updating there. So yeah, I told you I'm going, uh, um, yeah, services in the remand or in a correction facility here too. Because like I said, for me, it doesn't stop at some prison door, because the people are in there because they didn't know how to act better, right? I'm not talking about the hardcore people. You know what I'm getting here. So and I think they deserve help too. So I added that on that too. Um, however, um, so also if you decide to work with the runes, it really doesn't hurt to um, learn different. Hold on. Is St. John's Wort good even on a nervous or sense? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I say as a non-doctor. Yes, it is good. I do that too. Like I said, everything, your whole body is a nervous system, you know? Um, so everything that involves the nervous system, it's good for. Absolutely. Brings in the little sun, because if you have a nervous or sensitive stomach, there is a reason for it too, right? Maybe you're keeping too much inside, or you're swallowing the shit of other people. Not literally, you know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. Help me. So, with this all said, I would like to read you a part, as I always do, out of my book that you can get at Amazon. Yeah, Odin's Rune Song. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Of course, I didn't write it. uh, but I put it in my book too, because it was out there, and it was translated in English, so that helped. Oh, Josie, you're not crazy. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let me read a little bit of Odin's Rune Song. And you can find it everywhere, right? Or even if you get the Havamal. Um, I know that I hung on a wind rocket tree 9 whole nights with a spear wounded, and to Odin offered myself to myself on that tree of which no one knows from what root it springs. Bread no one gave me, nor horn of drink. Downward I peered, to runes applied myself, wailing, learned them, then fell down thence. Potent songs 9 from the famed son I learned of Baldhorn, Besla's sire, and a draught obtained of the precious mead drawn from Ordhary. Then I began to bear fruit and to know many things, to grow and well thrive. Word by word I sought out words, fact by fact I sought out facts. Runes, thou wilt find and explain characters, very large characters, very potent characters, which the great speaker devised, and the high powers formed, and the powers prince graved. So after his suffering, he was given the runes. And we talked about already what I think Odin's suffering means for me personal. And someone had enough of squirrels. This is your peaceful rune weaving with Grandmother Teich with guns in the background. You're welcome. No, it's an air gun or something. He just scares them away. Give it a second. I think he's almost done. Maybe one more. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Nope, he done. Okay. Well, then, hey, he chases squirrels away. What about me here, man? So, yeah, clearly he speaks about his own suffering, right? And for me, if you go a little deeper, where he says, hung by the tree that no one knows where the roots start, that could be him going back to where everything started for him, right? So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I do. At one point, I do maybe some episodes about the Rune song, and we can discuss what it is for you. And again, like everyone had different idea. Everyone had different. Oh, he means this rune. Let me just read you one when he names the runes in there. So, uh, but I just give you one for now. Um, I take the ninth because I like the nine. For the ninth, I know if I stand in need my bark on the water to save, I can the wind on the waves ally and the sea lull. For the 10th, I know if I see troll wives sporting in air, I can so operate that they will forsake their own forms and their own minds. For the 6th, I know if one wounds me with a green tree's root, also if a man declares hatred to me, harm shall consume them sooner than me. That was one. I mean, that was three because I just can't do different, right? You know me. So, and I talked to different people, and everyone saw a different rune in there. So that I believe that's not because you don't understand it. I believe it is because the runes speak different to you. The main message is the same, but again, depending on how you do your spread or what you want to know, what you want to do, they can have different messages and different meanings. But yeah, but this is something I wrote in my book, and I'm just writing the second one. So yeah, okay. If you have any questions, I stick around, and if not, I'm gonna sign out now. And thank you all so much for joining me here on this episode and rune weaving and having a cup of tea with me. Same tree, different branches. Absolutely. Yep. Or the elephant and the same elephant and everyone calls it different, right? So, but what I was saying, um, it's important to understand and respect the language a little bit. So if I work with runes, um, I mean, I have my German, obviously, but I'm also learning a little Norwegian. Preferably, I would learn Icelandic, Old Norse, but no one offers that anymore. And Icelandic, it's nothing, nowhere to find except some AI apps, and I don't do that. Um, so it just gives you a better connection too, right? Um, no matter what you practice, you should always understand and respect the language as well a little bit. Yes, I have a one-on-one rune teaching. I do. Either remote, depending on where you are, or um, yeah, in class here in Edmonton, Alberta. It all depends on, but I do offer both. You can shoot me an email. Natalie was so nice and put my link in there. There is my contact too. And I think I have it in my prescription too, about me section. I think, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure there it is too. So, yeah, so it's important to understand, to respect the language a little bit. And it's also important to understand where the Norsemen were coming from or who they were, because that's what I start now in my foundation. I start doing gatherings monthly. I used to offer rune classes every week, but that's too much in the first place for everyone with work and everything. And I did a stop because I had to gather my thoughts where I'm going with this. So now I want to explain who the Norsemen really were, because sometimes people look at me, what do you mean ancient Norse healing? Well, what do you do? What Norse? Who were the Norse? No, they were not the Vikings. It's, yeah. So it involves a lot to understand. So, I mean, I got there, so everyone else can get there. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so very much for being here and for supporting me. That means a lot to me. It really does. And I think I'm gonna get me an ice cream out of the fridge now, and gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do fuck all. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, that was the last episode, and I'll see what I come up with next. I will think about the Havamal. Maybe we do a little out of that if you would be interested. Leave me a comment if you wanna, if you're interested, and we'll go from there. Okay, you all have a good night, and thanks again for coming. Mwah. Lots of love.